Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review, another paid request. This time for Chad. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, I'll do my best, and pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film Short Time from 1990. Now, Short Time, I've seen this film before, years ago. I remember there was a guy, I don't know what happened to him, there was a guy named Video Vault Guy who used to watch my stuff and subscribe to, I don't know what happened to him. If you ever see this, hope you're doing well. But I remember years and years ago, he wanted me to check into this, and I think it took me a while to do it, because the film, I think to this day, is still not on DVD or Blu-ray. There may have been a DVD overseas, maybe, but in the US, it seems like it's only on VHS. Which is sad, because this is a pretty damn decent film, Short Time. It came out in 1990, and 500 and some theaters. It did not do well at all. Complete bomb. It debuted at number 10. And it's directed by Gregg Champion. This is a guy who produced some John Badham films like Short Circuit, Blue Thunder, Stakeout. That's another film that doesn't have a Blu-ray, Stakeout. Oh, X-Ray and Schizoid did a 4K, but Stakeout and this film can't even get a damn Blu-ray. Hell, this film can't even get a DVD. This is a bootleg or maybe an overseas DVD, maybe. But okay, stabs my heart that this isn't out, because this deserves a watch. It's not one of the best comedies, action films ever, but it's a fun, entertaining movie with some rather good set pieces of action, especially an excellent car chase. It has a fun, black humor, but not too dark. As in, the tone is still consistent. Idea of Dabney Coleman, who was in 9 to 5. He was in that movie Hot to Trot I reviewed recently. But he's a good actor who... He plays a cop in Seattle. He's very cautious, overly cautious. He's a few days to retirement, or maybe days, maybe longer. And one day he goes to the hospital for regular checkup. There's a mix-up, and the doctor messed up, and they tell Dabney that you only have 2 weeks to live. And then with his insurance policy, if he dies natural causes, his family barely gets any money. But if he dies on the job, they'll get hundreds of thousands of dollars. So then, Dabney doesn't want to tell his family, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to take any job I can get. Any dangerous, terrible job, because if I die on duty, my family will be provided. And throughout the film, he gathers a better relationship with his wife, played by Teri Garr, who's in films like Young Frankenstein, among others. He has a better friendship with his son. He treats his partner better. His police officer partner is played by Matt Frewer, who's Matt's Headroom. He was in The Take Your Beverly Hills, underrated, fun action film from the 90s with Ken Wall. He was also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as the neighbor of Rick Moranis' character. But Matt Frewer plays his partner. Barry Corbin, who was the sheriff in Critters 2, he was in War Games. He plays sort of the captain, police captain. Xander Berkeley is your main villain. Xander Berkeley, he was Virginia Madsen's husband in Candyman, the original Candyman. He was also a scientist in Universal Soldier: The Return. He was in Terminator 2. He was one of the step-parents of John Connor in Terminator 2, along with Jeanette Goldstein. And another villain is Joe Pantoliano. Joe, he was one of the bad guys in The Goonies. He was in The Matrix. A lot of stuff. So it has a rather good cast. And a lot of the humor is this guy, this cop, he's so overly cautious. At the beginning, him and Matt Frewer are chasing a suspect. and the suspect jumps a crevice of the roof, and literally Dabney Coleman puts him to sleep. No, 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 you're not doing that. We're not jumping off roofs. Okay, you only have short time to retirement. And like puts Matt Frewer in a sleeper hold so he can't move. While the other cops jump over just fine. And Matt Frewer's like, what the hell are you doing? He gets pissed off. But then after that, he just takes every job that he can. And he becomes even more of a hero. Because there's a domestic disturbance. Things don't go wrong. But it's actually an elderly couple, and there's a misunderstanding. That's a funny scene. I don't want to give it away, but that's a pretty funny scene. There's a bit with a bomber and a supermarket. A very nice dramatic moment where Dabney Coleman walks up to him, talks him down. I thought the way the music was handled, Dabney, he was a good comedic actor, but he could do the drama just as well. And my neighbor's rooster agrees too. Gives his seal of approval. But how do I put it? He's talking to the bomber and going on about if you do this, who's going to see your kids graduate? And there's so many things we don't know till it's gone. And he's talking to the guy, but he's also talking about himself and his regrets and what he wasn't able to do. And now that he thinks he has no time left, what he's not going to be able to do. He's not going to be able to see his kid graduate. But what he's thinking of himself, he's telling to this guy. And the guy's listening. And I thought that was a very well-handled, dramatic scene. But it wasn't so off-kilter that ruined the tone of the movie. I thought it was handled very well and balanced. And there's, like I said, a great 7-minute car chase where he gets Matt Frewer out of the car because he's going to do it himself, and he's happy. He's like, "Oh, my family's going to get the money." And those scenes in RoboCop 3 and Beverly Hills Cop 3 where there's an action scene for comedy effect where the hero is driving the car and it gets broken down, shot up. RoboCop is driving like the pimp car and things are falling apart. Axel Foley is driving the car near the beginning of Beverly Hills Cop 3. This is how you do that right. This is how you do that well, and this is how you do it where it's actually funny with some really damn good stunts involved. Because it's crashing through this, it's going through that, the hood comes up, and he's got to look outside. He's driving off this and flipping over, but he can still keep going. Like, RoboCop 3 and Beverly Hills Cop 3 were after this. So this did that first. Well, maybe there's a movie before this that did it, but it did it before those two, and this did it better. It was better directed. And Gregg Champion, he didn't direct too many other films after this. He did The Cowboy Way with Kiefer Sutherland and Woody Harrelson, which I like that film. That's a fun movie. That's a decent film. For pretty damn good car chase, and yet this film, again, doesn't have a DVD in the U.S., let alone a Blu-ray. Just no one knows who Dabney Coleman is, and, that's the thing is why I get mad about that. I know people say it's rights. I think that a lot of these are just, they're movies no one remembers, so it doesn't get brought up. So I want to be the guy that brings this stuff up. I don't care if I'm annoying or not. I want to bitch about this not having a Blu-ray. I want to bitch about this film not having a DVD or Blu-ray. I want to bitch about Daily Outbreak not having an official DVD or Blu-ray. 3 Men and a Baby and Stakeout, big hits, they don't have official Blu-rays. But Flesh Eater has a 4K. Miami Connection has a fucking 4K. Miami Connection sucks. And I reviewed it, and I'm like, it's okay. I know, I went off kilter. It's okay for so bad it's good. But technically, it is a film that sucks. Technically. And to be entertaining, to be fair. Even though I think there are better So Bad It's Good movies anyway. So technically, like, I reviewed it. I thought it was okay. I had some fun with it. But I haven't seen that film again, nor do I need to. But then it has a 4K now. But this film can't have a DVD, let alone a Blu-ray. But Stakeout and 3 Minute Baby can't have an official Blu-ray. Watchers 1 and 2 can't have Blu-rays. And who do I complain to? I don't know. This film deserves it. It's a fun movie. I mean, there's a bit where the finale where he's chasing after Xander Berkeley and the guy drops a grenade. And Dabney's, yes! Like, he does this, like, yeah! But the grenade drops between his legs down the stairs, and it keeps going and going to the ground floor, and then it explodes. It's like, damn! And the shot on this cover is in the movie. But I won't spoil how that's in the movie. What's also funny is Dabney Coleman's character is named Bert Simpson. But sometimes when people say it too quickly, it sounds like Bart. Somebody's Bart Simpson? Bart Simpson's is? No, it's Bert. Bert Simpson. But again, when people are saying too quickly, Bart Simpson, I'm like... Also, he's called Bert, and Matt Frewer is called Ernie. Bert and Ernie. You know, Sesame Street, Bert and Ernie. So yeah, the two... That had to have been done on purpose. That the two cops are called Bert and Ernie. That can't be just a coincidence. And one of the writers of the film, who I think sadly passed away, went on to write Blue Street with Martin Lawrence. I like Blue Street. I think Blue Street is one of the better Martin Lawrence films. My favorite is the Bad Boys films, but I think that's, you know, one of the better ones. I do. But, yeah, sad when this film came out, it debuted at number 10. Did nothing. But, like I said, Dabney Coleman, I think, did a good job. He held his own as a lead. He worked well in the comedy and bits of the drama. I don't really have a lot of issues with it. I mean, for what it is, it worked well. It's an interesting idea. I mean, a guy who finds out that he's dying, he's not, but he finds out he's dying, and says, you know what, I gotta kill myself, but I gotta make it look like on the job, because my family would get the benefits. And how you're able to do a dark idea into a comedy, I thought worked rather well. But, you know, Dabney Coleman was not a star. I mean, he had been in films. People looked and go, oh, I recognize him, but there's never a time... I don't even know if he ever did another film where he was the main star. I don't know. Because he mainly did bit parts or supporting roles, like the Beverly Hillbillies. He was in that movie, among others. But Dabney Coleman pulled it off. And it's too bad. The film did nothing. And again, with the cast and just too bad. And then, yeah, there's some funny bits in it. There's a bit with Matt Frewer. Dabney Coleman's treating him well. Brings him to this restaurant for this $90 lobster. And Matt Frewer, like, gives up and goes, okay, that's it. You're out of your fucking mind. Because he knows something's up with this guy. And then ultimately figures out what later on in the film. But yeah, Short Time, if you've never seen it, which you probably haven't, because how would you? I don't know if it's on YouTube. I had a DVD-R of it that was sent to me a long time ago by a nice guy. That's how I saw it, but yeah, I don't know if anyone... I mean, I don't know if it's on YouTube. I would think, I mean, there are scenes on YouTube. I don't know if the entire movie is. But if you're able to see it, definitely check it out. It's a fun one. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.